Totem pole, 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 totem pole.
Hello, everybody. Recording live from somewhere.
TotemPoleNation Life Lessons Podcast. MK, good morning. Today's topic: the same thing that makes a hero makes a villain. MK, here's your intro. MK is the guardian of Totem.
MK is in the house. MK is in the house. MK is in the house. MK is in the house.
MK is in the house. Tonight, the Boston Celtics versus the Mavs. That's why I'm sitting here playing this old school NBA 2K12. All right, I'm the Mavericks. I don't think there's hardly anybody in this game other than Jason Kidd that's still around. But the same thing that makes a hero makes a villain. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about this because I was watching a video today, and heroes and villains, a lot of them have the same past. Think about Batman and Joker. Put that on the thumbnail. The same thing that made Batman made the Joker. And Batman was healed, and he heals others. Whereas the Joker was hurt, and he did not heal. He hurts others. TotemPoleNation, life lesson. The same thing that makes a hero makes a villain. And y'all are heroes. Infield Insights. Love you. Thank you for everything you do for Totem Pole. JK, there you go. Streak, my son. Streak is in the house. MK, the guardian of Totem Pole. A lot of people want to know, how did MK get an intro? Because MK is dedicated to the process. MK shows up and she gives her best every day. MK said, let's go, Streak. Life lessons. All right, so tonight, the Boston Celtics and the Dallas Mavericks. It goes back to Boston. Is Kyrie Irving a hero or a villain? Man, I don't even know if it's that easy to answer. But appreciate you being here, MK. Appreciate everybody watching. I got this video game playing because, hey, I thought it'd be something good for y'all to look at, you know. This is NBA 2K12, TotemPoleNation. Man, we've had a lot of fun streaming these games. We've had a lot of fun doing the Life Lessons podcast. Hey, do me a favor, y'all. We've really found out that this has been good. If you go to your app on your phone, all right, if you go to your YouTube app and then you go to the podcast, over here, there's the man from Seall. I'm showing him, Paul, on your YouTube app. You have, see this emoji here? This heart emoji?
The what?
This heart emoji. See how you have these reactions on the live stream? If you could keep pressing that heart emoji, it really, as Lambo says, help the algorithm. So, Paul, today's life lesson. I got that from the video I sent you earlier. The same thing that makes a hero makes a villain. The same thing that makes a hero makes a villain. Think about Batman and I think of Joker, Paul. Batman and Joker, what made them was the same thing. Trauma. Batman is healed and he heals others. The Joker is hurt and he hurts others. What do you think about today's life lesson, Paul? Do you agree? Do you disagree?
That makes sense after hearing you describe it. Yeah, I can support that.
So I guess it comes down to, are you a builder or are you a destroyer? Do you build other people up like MK, who is the guardian of Totem Pole, or do you tear people down?
Like Frank the Tank.
Frank the Tank. Frank the Tank will do anything for $20. He will say anything you want him to say for $20.
It's
It's
great.
just like
I wonder where he lives.
he lives in New Jersey, right outside the city. Yeah,
Which
he lives
city?
right. I can Google it, man. Spam the heart emoji, y'all. Frank the Tank, hometown. People love Frank the Tank. Frank
I
Kaminsky.
like him.
Oh, he's a Polak. No, that's not. That's a different one. Frank Fleming is his name. Frank the Tank.
Fleming.
Yeah, he's a media personality, kind of like
Yeah.
the man from Soul.
Kind of like Lambo.
Yes, Frank the Tank. I would like to see Frank the Tank and Lambo go head to head. And there, because Frank the Tank is very. I mean, who's the villain in that? Is it Frank the Tank or is it Lambo?
That's a good question.
Would Lambo and would Frank the Tank be friends? Where does he live? I'm Googling it right now. Frank the Tank. Where does he live? Frank the Tank. His new pad. Oh, man, he's got a new apartment. Nice. He put it on Twitter. Frank the Tank lives in Silver. He lives in Belleville, New Jersey. He lives in Silver Lake Apartments.
Mm.
He's paying $1,800 to $1,850 a month for his apartment.
Mm.
And Frank the Tank was just a guy who.
What city was that? What town was that?
Plainville, New Jersey. That's upstate, isn't it? I mean, that's North Jersey, where all the rich people live. But Frank the Tank, I think Dave Portnoy saw him on the news. They had him on the news or something, and Dave Portnoy was like, "This dude's he's a star." Kind of like when I saw Lambo. Lambo is a star. Okay, so we had a lot going on this weekend. I went to go see the greatest band of all time. I will put that up against anyone. The Beatles, the Beatles didn't do it as long as these guys did it.
Did they do
Dylan,
Did they play Dirt Hill?
No.
Old Dirt Hill?
No, they didn't. They played a lot, dude. I mean, and I'm going to talk a little bit about this. Life lessons, fellas, stay in school and chase your education. Dylan, that's good advice. But Dylan, we talk about education and life lessons podcast. Your education just ain't in a school. Your education is everyone you meet, everywhere you go, every day of your life. I was
Yeah.
watching another video about that yesterday.
Well, yeah, and I'll throw it in here
Go
because
ahead.
this is my thing. Chase your education, meaning, hey, I think you, I think you earning your degree also is a commitment to becoming a lifelong learner. Just because
Yeah.
you have a piece of paper don't mean nothing. The things that you just said, meeting people, talking to people, communicating with people, learning things from people, not being afraid to talk to people because you're always going to get something from them, good or bad, of that's going to carry on with you through life. But you gotta be a lifelong learner. I've seen too many people that are just sitting on degrees and like they like to tell people what they have, but what does that mean? It doesn't mean anything.
The smartest guy I know doesn't have one degree.
Yeah. Yeah.
He went to USMC. When they used to ask him, hey man,
Stop.
where'd you go to college? He said USMC. Where'd you get your education? USMC. And they say, well, where's that? I never heard of that. University of Southern Methodist United States Marine Corps. Harris,
Yeah. Yeah.
and MK said something so powerful yesterday. I said that Totem Pole is about faith, family, and the future of content creation. And she said she's the future of the military. I said, with an attitude like that, you're going to be a general.
You're gonna go a long way. Yeah, absolutely.
So how does that make you feel that MK, one of our disciples, the guardian of Totem Pole, everybody wants to have an intro, Paul, but MK is the only one. Here's Dylan. Dylan, you're on your way to getting an intro. The man from Seoul, you're absolutely correct. I work in construction and I see it all the time. Younger kids with full bachelor's degrees out here doing roofing with me.
hmm
Dylan, how old are you? And you're a roofer right now. You're putting on the roofs. But dude, I tell you one thing. If you're a roofer and you know how to do it, you're never, ever, ever going to go out of business.
Nope.
Because they're not going to create a shingle that lasts forever.
No.
Okay? My dad used to tell me, Troy, they took a spaceship and put it on the moon in the 60s.
hmm
And they can't create a car that can get more than 20 miles a gallon. That's a good point. Dude, you're never going to go out of business.
No.
And when you sell one person a roof, Dylan, he's 36. Thank you, Dylan, dude.
Yeah.
Dylan,
The thing about it is in the minute when in those type of industries, the minute you can figure out how to work for yourself and to start your own business, I think you're cooking with gas. Because and that's the lifelong lifelong learner. As you're working for a company, figure out how to make it your own in an
Ooh,
industry like that, and
Dylan
watch the
said,
people that are running it, and then run your own. Because there's enough rules out here in the world to have your own business and to make your own living, to be your own boss. There really is. But all you have to do is copy what the people before you have done. Watch how
ooh,
they run the business.
ooh.
Run it just like that, and add your little spice to it.
I've been roofing for 11 years of my life, Dylan says. Well, Dylan, I don't know how long you've been watching Totem Pole. I don't know how you got hooked up with Totem Pole. I think it was through the video games. But here's what we're about, and I think you already know. Changing lives helping others, and building champions. And just like Paul said, you learn. That's that difference, Paul, between having a fixed mindset
Yes.
and a growth mindset. A
Yes.
fixed mindset says, I'm going to be a roofer. Oh, I've got 30 more years of roofing. Someone with a growth mindset is always learning.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can learn about roofing, you can learn about other things.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Here's what Dylan says. Yes, sir. Just cooking with grease freight now. I do have my LLC, so one day I will work for myself. It's coming.
There you go. There you go.
And Totem Pole wants to help your LLC. Please put the name of your LLC, Dylan. And even if it's just doing patch-up work on the side, because, you know, sometimes people can't afford to get a whole roof. They just want a few shingles fixed. What city are you in, Dylan? And, dude, I didn't even know you were a grown man. I just assumed, you know, with me and Paul, we talk a lot about this, Paul, don't we? Who is our audience? Who are we talking to? And a lot of times we assume it's just middle schoolers. But you know what? Totem Pole is not a joke. That's what a friend told me. Totem Pole is not a joke. And I went to the flea market yesterday with my son. I had $10 in my pocket. Dylan, I've been watching you guys for about 6 months, subbed about 2 months ago. Wow. Went to the flea market and I saw a totem pole on a table. I walked up to the dude and said, I love totem poles. How much? He said 30. I said, nah, I don't have 30. He said 25. And I said, nah, dude, I don't think you understand. I only got $10 in my pocket. And I pulled out the $10. He took the $10 and gave me the totem pole. And it was a totem pole, Paul, an Aztec, a Mexican totem pole with their god, Quetzalcoatl, the serpent, white, feathered, snake dragon type god they believed that would come one day. And I gave that totem pole to my brother, Tony Taylor, who teaches about the Aztecs. And I gave it to my son. I said, hey, give this to Uncle Tony. And he said, I love it. I'm going to put it on my bookshelf in my class. It was handcrafted. He's in Hey, Dylan is in Tallahassee, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. I don't know if you remember this name, Sterling Palmer. Played defensive end for Florida State and the Washington Redskins. My friend Mike Spencer went to Florida State as a GA because of Sterling Palmer. He was from Aquinas High School. I love Bobby Bowden.
Sterling Palmer.
Paul, how are you feeling about life lessons? I mean, this just gave me a shot in the arm, knowing that we're just not talking to middle schoolers. We're out here talking to grown men with life experience.
Really? Just sitting there having conversations, solving
great.
the world's problems. Give us life. Here is kind of gross.
Paul, what are you thinking about Life Lessons Podcast, Totem Pole Nation? The same thing that makes a hero makes a villain. And we find out today that Dylan just isn't a kid, but a grown man with life experience watching Life Lessons Podcast. Do y'all have anyone in Tallahassee repping Totem Pole Nation? Because I believe I seen someone in y'all's logo. Dude, Dylan, I'm going to tell you the truth. I sent a hat to a guy in East Tennessee, and Oreo, who's one of the kids. This is a grown man, older than me, 45, 46, 47 years old. Oreo saw him at Walmart wearing a Totem Pole Nation hat. So do we have anyone repping Totem Pole Nation in Tallahassee? Not that I know of. But, dude, isn't it amazing? Paul, remember when you said you thought Totem Pole was just going to be a local jokel thing? Are you starting to rethink that? I mean, dude, Totem Pole is going worldwide. How does that make you feel? We had someone from Seoul watching us. You were in Seoul watching TotemPoleNation Life Lessons podcast. Talk about that, Paul. How do you feel? MK said it's not local. You know, but it is local because we're everywhere you are, and you are everywhere we are. Paul, how are you feeling? I can see you're in deep thought. You're thinking about all this and processing the information. You just don't spew out gunk like me. I think out loud. I remember I had a teacher once tell me that. She said, you're a smart kid and you have charisma. I had this professor in college. Paul. It's echoing a little bit. But she said, you have charisma, but you think out loud. MK says, my teacher says I talk too much. And I'm echoing yours, Paul. See, that's the crazy thing, MK, is that teachers don't want you to talk, but when you go to college, they want you to talk. And I'm echoing, Paul. I don't know why. Do you have me on the echo thing in your car? So, Paul, what are you thinking? What are you feeling? Because I was saying, I spew out information. You're a thinker. You think before you speak.
Yes. Well, I mean, that's just. Hello.
What are you thinking about Totem Pole? And that Totem Pole might not just be a local, jokel thing, but Totem Pole is going worldwide.
Hey, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, man. It's just, I mean, we're just some local folks that relate to the world, man. I mean, it really do. It's relatable content, like, and people like to listen to just ordinary people that have had some decent life experiences and would like to share them with them, and they can learn from it. I mean, Life Lessons podcast. It's kind of like a college course, actually.
Big Ed said, "Boo Celtics." Big Ed. I used to be a Celtics fan.
I think the Celtics Nation is nervous this morning.
Why are they nervous, Paul?
Because I just think that they're after that last game takes on another life of its own. If the game is not a drubbing and it's a close game and then you lose in the fourth quarter, it's a total different feel to this morning. This morning, it's like, did our wheel fall off? I mean, because again, it's one game today. There's only one game tonight. It's not a doubleheader. Okay, if they win the game, Dallas Mavericks by a half a point, man, oh man.
Big Ed said, "Just kidding, lifelong Celtics fan. Just mad at the loss."
You got a team playing with house money. I mean, everyone's like, well, they want to come home. They want to come home and win. But you're playing against a team that doesn't care if they lose. That's hard to beat.
Big Ed said he's not nervous at all. This is what they needed, a wake-up call. Dylan says, I think they'll bounce back. So, Paul, what's your perspective on that?
Like the guy Jurassic Park said, I think we'll bounce back. But what if they can't? What if they find us with the eggs? What if they don't? You know what I'm saying? What if they don't
Big
bounce
Ed,
back?
they
What
got
does
to play the
Tuesday
next.
morning look like in Boston?
Yeah, they start getting nervous. Is Kyrie a hero or a villain? Big Ed said we only need one. They have to win 3. It's a lot tougher, but anything is possible, like KJ said after winning in 08. Dylan said true. The person that's the most worried is a guy named Lambo Belichick. Lambo
Correct.
Belichick is nervous. Lambo Calrissian. Lambo is a part of TotemPoleNation. He is a content creator, and we're going to be live streaming. The sports radio was more focused on Irving's weird behavior than the loss itself. What did Kyrie do that was weird? Is that like, because Kyrie has always been different, meaning, I mean, he said the world was flat when he was at Duke. I mean, hey, some people believe that now. It's all good. But, like, what did Kyrie do that was weird? Because I haven't paid attention.
Jason Kidd,
Dylan said
figured
Lambo
them out.
Belichick. What did Jason Kidd do?
But Dallas, the Mavericks are due to win one in Boston, and Boston's due to lose one in Boston. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And Jason
Dylan,
Kidd found something. Jason Kidd found something. He found a gap. He found something. He's been probing, and he found something.
Big Ed said that I have no clue. They teased that he was back to the old Kyrie. Dude, the Kyrie that showed up on the other night was on fire. And the thing that makes me nervous for the Celtics is that Luka Doncic looked hurt the last 3 games. Meaning when he brings the ball up, he creates a turnover. When he brings the ball up, he doesn't look smooth. He doesn't look comfortable. But the other night, I don't know if they gave him what they gave Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Maybe Patrick Mahomes gave it to him. Said, dude, this is what you need. Take this. And Luka looked good. Jason Kidd. All that matters is tonight. It doesn't matter what happened the first 4 games. It doesn't matter what happens the next 2 games. You have to live in the moment. And that's what I think Dallas did this last game. And are you excited about tonight's game, Paul?
I am, because I know Dallas is excited. So we're gonna get their best effort. And again, I like them. I just like where they sit because they're supposed to lose. They don't have to come in here like tight. They don't have to come to this game tight at all.
Yeah, they can
This
just
is a
play.
house money game, dude. Like I said, if Luke is feeling good, because he looked strong, like you said the other night, there's a way for them to walk in there and walk out of there with a win.
Hey, Dylan says, well, fellas, I'm here on the job site. My guys are looking at me crazy. Guess I need to get off here and go to work. Laugh out loud. I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Hashtag TotemPoleNation. Dylan, you made my day. You don't understand the impact that you have when you tell somebody that you're in Tallahassee, Florida, listening to them. It's kind of like when I got the call from Bill Best, the offensive line coach from Colorado State, told me he was in Compton, California, listening to the Championship Football Coaches Clinic podcast on TotemPoleNation. Big Ed, if the Celtics blow this, the town will lose their beat. I just feel it's our year. and lucky to draw Dallas and not Denver or other teams we struggled with, like Minnesota. MK, the quote of the day, Paul. Here we go. A lot of late nights in the gym, a lot of early mornings, especially when your friends are going out, you're going to the gym. Those are the sacrifices that you have to make. That's the quote of the year, the quote of the day. And that's what Allen Iverson said about Kobe. That Kobe was willing to make those sacrifices. Thank you, Dylan.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's the sacrifices that you're making, MK. While the rest of those kids that want to have an intro are hugging the pillow, you're here on Life Lessons. You are creating content. You can use this on your resume. You can use this on a job application or on a college application, that you are the moderator for Totem Pole. You're a moderator, the guardian of Totem Pole. What do you think, Paul?
You sure can. That will definitely help you. I mean, it's just activities like that get you outside of yourself that are gonna be fruitful in your life, no matter what road you go down. You're gonna remember things that you heard on here, we talked about, and it's just gonna make you a better person.
Yes.
That I do.
MK said, all those people who want that intro, I don't see them here. Wow, that's dedication. But Dylan is here. Dylan, you made my day,
Thank you.
dude. See, we put ourselves in a box. I'm just a football coach. I'm just the LC Bird coach. I'm just the Meadowbrook coach. I'm just talking to middle schoolers. And then what do I learn? I got a guy who is basically 10 years younger than me, who's in Tallahassee, Florida, listening to TotemPoleNation. That's powerful. Big Ed says, Paul, I was at bar in my 20s, and one of the older guys from the neighborhood asked, where's my basketball? As a kid, it was nonstop. We would shovel the courts to play and have Band-Aids on every finger. Man. You loved it, didn't you, Big Ed? How old are you now, Big Ed? Big Ed says this, the cold weather would make your skin separate from the nails, hurt like blank, but I never missed the chance to play because it was play. You have some lights going on behind you, Paul? What do you have, some lights in your car flashing? Is your mic muted? Oh, you're going through the car wash. You're going through the car wash. I see you. Man. Big Ed. See, that's one of the things we've uncovered here on Life Lessons, is that in order to become a master at something, your work has got to be play. MK said, please don't swear, Ed. Okay, I think, what did he say? The H word? Okay, thank you, MK. I think Big Ed might be older than 18. I'm not sure, but he said when he was in his 20s, he was at a bar. Okay, but thank you very much, MK. Thank you, Big Ed. I love both of y'all and Paul. MK says she loves the car wash. Paul goes to the car wash every day.
Every single day.
Because we're the member of the car wash club, $26.99 a month.
Yep.
We can get unlimited car washes. Well, it looks like Dallas is going to win this game on NBA 2K12 against the Celtics.
Yeah, let me look see who my favorite prognosticators, what they're saying today about tonight's game. That'll
And
go a long way.
who's your favorite prognosticator?
A website called pick wise.
Look at this.
Tell you what.
Big Ed says, I'm 54. I played D3 ball in college, local school, Stonehill, and joined the Army and did 15 years with the 82nd. And I apologize for the language.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Big Ed, I don't know if you know this. I don't know how long you've been watching Totem Pole, but the man from Seoul, Crystal Ball Paul, MK says, thank you for your service, Ed. Ed, I don't know if you know this, but MK is a rising 8th grader in Indiana, and she wants to be in the Army. And Paul is a retired lieutenant colonel. So, Paul, how does that make you feel that Big Ed, I mean, Big Ed, is he around your age? Are y'all around the same age?
Yes.
How does that make you feel since like I told you this morning, we're talking mainly to middle schoolers, but we're not. This Life Lessons podcast is bigger than just for middle schoolers. So y'all taught me a lesson today, Big Ed.
Yep.
What do you know about the 82nd Airborne?
Yeah, Big Ed.
Paul?
Oh man, I never served in the 82nd. I'm not airborne. Never jumped out of an airplane. Thought it'd be cool. It just never was in the cards for me. They just, you get sent in a different. Your life is patterned for you by the military, and some people stay in one organization. Once people get to the 82nd, they don't like to leave. I've met so many people who've been in the 82nd for 17 years, and then in between tours, they take a 1-year tour to Korea, go back to the 82nd. So they've only been to Korea and Fayetteville, North Carolina, which is kind of cool. And I like it because the people that want to be there, let them be there, and it helps the continuity of the base. Because you get people who love jumping out of airplanes and stay together. So when it's time to do mission,
Big
you've been
Ed
working with the
says,
same people for years.
Big Ed says, thanks, men and women. Join the Army, MK. You will love it. I miss it every day. MK says, Ed, I want to join the Army because of Paul and my dad. How does that make you feel, Paul, that Big Ed says that he misses it every day and that MK wants to join the Army because of Paul and her dad?
That makes me feel wonderful. And again, I'm no different than Big Ed. I mean, there's certain parts of it I miss. I mean, I miss the morning runs with a group of people instead of by yourself now. And then I miss just the I mean, work was our life. I went from playing sports, my shop or the office I worked in, that was my new locker room. And then now, this first time in my life, I don't have a locker room. I just, I have friends, but you're
So
not
Totem
like
Pole is your locker room.
constantly together.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So Totem Pole is like your team now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I'm excited to get on to see people, and then I know that there's people out there that are a part that can hop on, and I get to see them. Not on a daily basis, but like my guy in Detroit,
Brandon,
NASCAR weekly guy, Brandon Tom. I mean, just there's people all over. I mean, the lady from Vegas who knows football in and out.
We need to get her back on.
I mean, just people all over just chiming in. But I think during the NFL, we're gonna have a lot more people come on that come back to the fray. Like this is like the NCAA dead period. Everyone's just going, doing, studying their team, seeing who they're picking up, going, watching OTAs. But yeah, The locker
Joseph.
room will be full come
Joseph
September.
says that he loves our channel. Thank you, Joseph. That means the world to us. Please like it. Please
Thanks,
hit that
Joseph.
heart emoji. Big Ed says this, Paul. I miss the guys and especially miss the structured environment. I'm lost out here. I still go out and do a 15-mile ruck with a 45-pound plate in your rucksack. I love it. To feel alive again. Big Ed, we're here for you. You know?
Yeah, I do the same thing. Sometimes when I'm really just missing
Joe
it, I
says,
just
thanks for your
go
service.
on. I go on the installation, just run the it's called B Avenue. That's the road they block off on the base, so everyone can run in the morning. I just run and just listen to people talking and chanting, and it's really most a live electric place at 5 o'clock in the morning around here. It is loud and it's wild.
And you're talking
Just
about
people
Fort
running.
Lee. Fort Lee,
Yes.
right? Which has a new
Yeah.
name now. What is the name of Fort Lee?
Fort Greg Adams.
Fort Greg Adams.
And it is, I mean, you would think if you go there at 5:30 in the morning on B Avenue, it's just like a normal day at the office. I mean, everybody's up and ready to go. And that's why, I can't sleep in, and I'm always up the same time that I was in the military, 5 o'clock.
So you understand how Big Ed feels because you just recently are retired. How many years have you been retired, Paul? When did you retire from service?
It'll be 1 year on the 30th of June.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been on Totem Pole?
Probably like 4 months, 5 months.
Big Ed says, great show. I'm a huge fan now, and I sub to you guys. I have to get the kiddo ready for school. I'll be back, Paul. Thank you, sir, for your service, and I'll see you all soon. Thank you, Big Ed.
Same to you, brother. Yep.
Big Ed and our guy, Dylan, made my day today. MK says this, Paul.
Yeah.
Last Tuesday, I went down to my uncle's house. We went to the Walmart next to Fort Knox. I saw four
I know where that
military
is.
guys. Did not know
I know where that is.
I was in Fort Knox. MK says,
Yep.
bye, Ed. So you know where she's talking about.
Yeah, exactly. I was on duty there for like a month. I loved Fort Knox. They had a fantastic golf course.
Big Ed, you will see MK on here. Hey, look who it is. The Terminator himself. Thank you, Big Ed.
Yeah, we're all on here, man. We're just
Yes,
chilling.
I'm looking forward. I will for sure, Ed. I'm just thinking about the buy one, get one free 3 mile. And you're a fan of 3 mile wings from the family restaurant.
Yeah, that's my favorite in the world. Not even
The
a close
family
second.
restaurant. We're going to the family restaurant. That's what we used to call it. The family restaurant. Because it is a
And I heard some other things, like people that eat there. I heard that like there's some other things like the burgers or like a fish sandwich or something that's just very underrated. I can't bring myself to ordering anything else when I go there. I just can't do it because that's an opportunity missed to have 3 Mile Island, and I can't miss. I can't. I'm
Big
hooked,
Ed
man.
Big Ed wants to know what times are you guys on? We do Life Lessons podcast Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. And we took a vacation, but now we're back. And then MK, and then we're gonna live stream the NBA game tonight. And MK wants to know, Paul, did you go to the Walmart in Fort Knox when you were there?
Yes, many times.
Big Ed says, Roger that. Roger that. Hua. Hua. So he's high speed. He jumped out of airplanes.
Yes.
My friend was an Army Ranger, my mentor.
Mm-hmm. He
Ranger
jumped out of airplanes too.
Rogers. Celtics 14, Dallas 11 at the end of the first quarter in NBA 2K12. Michael Jordan's on the front cover. Are you drinking water from Wawa, or is that coffee?
Water. I already had coffee, dude. I've been up since 5. Like I said, I still do more before 9 a.m. than most people do all day.
Yes.
Seriously.
You can get more done. You can get more done because there's nobody up slowing you down.
Yeah, and right now, because like this week, now that the golf's over, like I'm gonna get up this week and I'm gonna go A to Z and detail my cars like this time in the morning when it feels like I mean, it just feels beautiful outside.
MK said she got up at 7 for life lessons. Man, that means
Good.
the world to us. MK.
I mean, because at some point today it'll come up and we'll talk about her quote of the day, which is kind of nice. But yeah, right now is the best time to be out and fixing stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Or getting stuff done. Like, you know, it's 8:30. Yeah. So right now it's early. It's
Big Ed says that I don't recommend static line jumps. They're hard on the body. Go Rangers or SF and Halo or Hee-Ho jumps, not as grueling on your landings.
Mm-hmm.
Hua.
Yeah.
MK, do you want to be airborne? Ed, I wanted to be a commissioned officer. She wants to be a commissioned officer. So what does she have to do, Paul, to make that happen?
Yeah.
You broke up a little bit, Paul. Are you back home?
Boy.
For MK to become a commissioned officer, what does she have to do? What are the steps in the process? Go to college. Big Ed, go to college. Man. MK says, yep, go to college for ROTC. This young lady is a rising 8th grader. And she has dreams, goals, and ambitions that she is going to accomplish. And she's meant so much to us. And it looks like in the video game, Boston is beating Dallas 17-14. So, Paul, I love you. Life Lessons Podcast, the same thing that makes a hero makes a villain. So we'll be coming on here later tonight. We're going to be doing the NBA live stream for the finals game 5. And then I'm going to be doing some streaming of Tecmo Bowl. Who was the best player in Tecmo Bowl? Some people think it's Bo Jackson. I think it might be Joe Montana because he's unbelievable, dude. We lost Paul and MK. Had to keep your eyes on the prize and start conditioning your body now so when you're in the military, you have an advantage. MK says bye. Yes, Big Ed. She's a basketball player. She's an athlete. So take Ed's advice. He knows the pattern. He knows the process. He knows what it takes. Yeah, and Paul, he lives out in Matoka, Virginia, which is south of Chesterfield, in between Petersburg and Richmond. It's part of Chesterfield near Lake Chesney, Matoka, Virginia. So we love y'all and have a great day. You have a great day for it.